Avengers Infinity War was a mind-blowing experience. This movie on every level was epic. It was done by the Russo brothers, who did Endgame that followed up Infinity War. They did Captain America Winter Soldier. They did Captain America Civil War. And now they're coming back for the next two Avengers movies. So these guys are great with Marvel, and they do a really good job at tying in so many superhero storylines and giving everyone justice with their own individual stories. And that's what they did with Infinity War. They brought in so many different films in this Avengers movie, so many different stories, and weaved it into like a really good film, a great film that had a really strong flow to it. I mean, you have the Guardians of the Galaxy, you got Thor in here, you got Doctor Strange coming in here, you got the Hulk and his issues, you got Black Panther, you have everything that was happening with Captain America after Civil War, you got Iron Man and his feud with Captain America and more, and they just like tied it all into one story, to one film, which is a lot. That's difficult to do because that's so many different characters in a little under 3 hours. In addition to really introducing Thanos to the story. I know Thanos had some light introductions before Infinity War. He had a little bit of a part in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. But then he really came in here and he got a lot of screen time. And while the Russo brothers did a great job of giving all these characters their own, their day in this film, they also did a great job of really showing the threat of Thanos, especially in the beginning of that film when he destroys all of Asgard and just totally kicks Thor's ass and kicks the Hulk's ass and just shows how threatening he is there. And then he's off to collect all the Infinity Stones so he could kill off half the world. And that's a pretty big threat. And there's a lot at stake here. So here, what I love about Infinity War and what the Russo brothers did is, they had this film and they just right off the bat showed the stakes of it and the stakes of what all these characters will have to deal with. And then this film was like kind of separated in like various parts, like different, on one end you got Iron Man and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, going off the planet and meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then on another end you got Captain America, Winter Soldier, Wanda, Vision teaming up with Black Panther and his crew on Wakanda. And they're just like, they did a good job just cutting from storyline to storyline. And man, this is a great film. This is a mind-blowing film. And just the way they ended on a cliffhanger too was just, the bad guy won in this one. And you had to wait like a whole year for Endgame. And that was a brutal wait. But it had a great payoff when Endgame came out. That's Avengers Infinity War. Additionally, they did recently announce at Comic-Con that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to Marvel, but not as Iron Man. He's coming back as Dr. Doom. I have my thoughts on that. Do I think he could be great in that role? Absolutely. I think he could absolutely crush the role of Dr. Doom. But this guy played Iron Man in Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. He showed up in the first Spider-Man, showed up in Civil War, and then Infinity War, and then he was killed off in Endgame. So to have the same guy come back to the MCU but as a different character, I think it's a little weird. I'm curious to see how they're going to do that, but you got the Russo brothers coming back, so, you trust these people have not had a miss with Marvel yet, with the 4 films the Russo brothers have done. So I like to think they know what they're doing, so we'll see how that goes. But Infinity War, always worth watching.